Okay. So நம்ம வந்து 7th வரைக்கும் பண்ணிட்டோம். The 7th வந்து ஒரு சும்மா we'll chant it a couple of times and then we'll go to the 8th one today. बाल्यादिष्वपि जागृदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमहम् इत्यन्तस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये बाल्यादिष्वपि जागृदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमहम् इत्यन्तस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये Sure. Next, Paklama. Kalpaka, you want to follow? Oh. Okay. Okay. Vishwam pashyati.
Vishwam pashyati.
Karyakaranataya.
Karyakaranataya.
स्वस्वामी संबंधतः
स्वस्वामी संबंधतः
शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव
शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव
पितृपुत्राद्यात्मना भेदतः
पितृपुत्राद्यात्मना भेदतः
स्वप्ने जागृति वाय एष
स्वप्ने जागृति वाय एष
पुरुषो माया परिभ्रामितः
पुरुषो माया परिभ्रामितः
तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये Kalpaka, voice break are there?
Sorry,
Paral, no problem. So now I'll chant this once again. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Vishwam pashyati karyakaranataya swaswami sambandhataha शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राद्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जागृति वाय एष पुरुषो माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामी संबंधतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राद्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जागृति वाय एष पुरुषो माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये Okay, so this particular shloka is essentially the it is almost like a description of how a Brahmagyani or a Jivan Mukta perceives or experiences the world or perceives everything pretty much. This is a question that after attaining to moksha, how will it be? Correct? எல்லாரும் வந்து நம்ம மோக்ஷா வேணும், மோக்ஷம் வேணும், முக்தி வேணும் அப்படின்னு liberation we are trying. But then what after that அப்படின்னு ஒரு question இருக்குல்ல. ஏன்னா நமக்கு we are used to a world where there is always something else. படிச்சோமா, எதுக்கு படிச்சோம்? வேலை பண்றதுக்கு. வேலை பண்ணோமா, எதுக்கு வேலை பண்றோம்? காசு சம்பாதிக்கிறதுக்கு. காசு எதுக்கு சம்பாதிக்கிறோம்? So that you can buy things. Why do you buy things? So that you can enjoy it. You can be luxurious, you can enjoy it. Why do you want to enjoy all that? So that you feel good. And you also, why do you also earn? So that you can give it to your family. Why do you give it to your family? So that by looking at them happy, you feel happy. You know, there is always this thing going on. So the question of moksha is also like that. எதுக்கு moksha? எதுக்கு அப்படின்னு question இருக்குல்ல. எதுக்கு முக்தி தேடின்னு போகணும்? Why liberation? அப்படின்ற question இருக்கு. So that is one question that we have. And how do we try to, a lot of people, when they don't get the answer why moksha, then they try to figure out different other things. They say it's not for me. Or the other thing that people also think is that moksha is related to death. உடம்புலேருந்து உசுறு போச்சுன்னா மோட்சம். ஜென்ரலி என்ன பண்றா, எல்லாருமே என்ன சொல்லுவா, மோட்சம் அடைஞ்சிட்டான், பரமபதத்தை அடைஞ்சிட்டான் அப்படின்பா. நார்மலா ஈவன் இஃப் somebody dies, பரமபதத்தை அடைஞ்சிட்டான் அப்படின்பா. Just the body is dropped. Because the idea of moksha somewhere is associated with the dropping of the personality, the identity அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம். But the question is, அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன? If what I am, I'm defined by all this, if this drops, then what is there? So it becomes a very difficult logical question to respond to. Because logically there is not, you can't really logically explain what happens when you drop the I, what it means to merge. So the Bhagavad Gita, the same question Arjuna asks Krishna. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha? Sthita prajna is somebody who is an equanimous, a person who has attained equanimity. Prajna வந்து ஸ்திதமா இருக்கு, ஸ்திரமா இருக்கு. So he is a sthita prajna, which means his consciousness has attained that highest level of stability. So after Krishna explains all that, then he asks sthita prajna. So he says sthita prajna is somebody who's a realized jivan mukta. Then he says, how do I identify a sthita prajna? Ka bhasha na enna definition? What is the definition of a sthita prajna? Because he looks exactly like me. A realized person looks exactly like me. He's got nose, ears. அதுக்காக realization வந்துருத்தனா ரெண்டு கொம்பு முளைச்சு பறக்க ஆரம்பிக்கிறது இல்ல. The person doesn't start flying. He looks exactly the same. He does the exact same things. In fact, Osho, I remember Osho Rajneesh ஒருத்தர் இருந்தார் இல்லையா? So அவரோட ஒரு டாக் கேட்டிருந்தேன். He says very beautifully that, can you think of the Buddha going to the toilet? I didn't get our question. So we've imagined these people in an altar, right? Ramar constipation arde. We can't imagine that, right? We have placed these images of realized or this exalted beings in a pedestal that we don't think that they're human anymore. They're as much as human as we are. The transcendence of humanity or human, the what we call as the conditionings of the human nature, their transcendence is not at the level of physicality. It is not at the level of physicality. The transcendence is a spiritual transcendence. It's a psychological transcendence. So the important thing to understand is even a Jivan Mukta is exactly the way we are. He'll act, he'll move, he'll step down, he'll walk, he'll sit, he'll stand, everything. மகான்கள்லாம் எதுக்கு கார்ல போறா அப்படின்னு கேட்பா நிறைய பேரு. ஓ சுவாமிஜிஸ் எல்லாம் கார்ல உட்காண்டனா சுவாமிஜி ஆச்சு, அவர் எதுக்கு கார்ல போறார் அப்படின்னு யோசிப்பா. He also needs comfort for the body. Correct? He also requires comfort for the body. Yeah. So we judge. அவருக்கு எதுக்கு உடம்பு வலி எல்லாம் தெரியுமா என்ன? அவருக்கு என்ன உடம்பு ப்ராப்ளம்? Why? He'll also get fever, he'll also get corona, he'll also get everything. But the thing is, what happens to him and happens to us is the same. How we respond and how they respond is different. For them, pain occurs. For us, pain occurs. We convert pain into suffering. They don't make pain into suffering.
பாவனா இல்லையா?
ஆமா, அந்த பாவனை தான். அவ வந்து பெயினை சஃபரிங் ஆக்குறது இல்லை. பெயினே உடம்புக்கு வந்திருக்கு. ரமணர்கிட்ட ஒருத்தர் போய் கேட்டானா, உங்களுக்கு போய் த்ரோட்ல கேன்சர் வந்ததா? பகவானே, நீங்க பகவானாச்சே அப்படின்னு சொன்னா, எனக்கு வரல ஓயே, என் உடம்புக்கு வந்திருக்கு அப்படின்னா. அது சொல்ல முடியணும்ல. We should be in a position to say that it's not me, it has come to my body. So that is how they respond. நமக்கு வந்துருதுன்னா, நமக்கு சின்னதா ஒரு வலி வந்துருந்தோம், ஐயோ எனக்கு வந்துருது, ஐயோ வந்துருது, என்ன பண்றது, நான் உயிரோட இருப்பேனா, என் வீட்டுல எல்லாரும் யாரை பார்த்துப்பா, எப்படி பண்றது அப்படின்னு சொல்லி. I mean, we've seen, honestly, we've had, இப்போ recent pastல prayers to those who have had suffering in the family, கொரோனானால. But a lot of times you see, நம்ம கொரோனா வந்துட்டு போயிருக்கு, நிறைய நம்ம எல்லாருக்குமே வந்துட்டு போயிருக்கு. But how many of us have dealt with it with a calm attitude, and how many of us have responded with ayyo suffering? So this, it shows, namakku worldly vande these things show how we respond is what is important. So this shloka is about how a brahmagyani perceives the world. It's important to know there is a Navanita Kaivalya Navanitam nu or pustakam undu, Ramanaroda pustakam. From Ramana's talks it was compiled. Ramana explains in that whole, on the small booklet published by Ramanashrama, adula it is described how a Jivan Mukta is. Idu yen therinjikano அப்படிங்கிறதுனா, the important thing to note is that it is showing us that we can also get there. அவா ஏதோ சூப்பர் ஹியூமன்ஸ் ஆயிட மாட்டா. They will recognize that being human is super. நான் ஹியூமன் பீங்கா இருக்கிறதே சூப்பர் அப்படிங்கிறது ரியலைஸ் பண்ணவா அவா. நம்ம ஏதோ சூப்பர் ஹியூமனை தேடிட்டு போறோம். So that is why it is important to know what is the lakshana of a brahmagyani, of a jivan mukta. And avala paathu you emulate. The situation அவ எப்படி இருக்கா? இப்போ அஷ்டவக்ர கீதால இல்ல, ஒரு இடத்துல வரும் அது, where Ashtavakra is giving upadesha to Janaka Maharaja. Ashtavakra Geetan அப்படின்னு ஒரு, that is the conversation. So there he says, the disciples come and ask, அஷ்டவக்ரருக்கு மற்ற டிசைபிள்ஸும் இருக்கா, நீங்க எதுக்கு போய் ஜனக்கரோட இவ்வளோ டைம் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்றேன்? அவர் he is merely a ராஜா, he is ruling a kingdom. நாங்கள்லாம் எல்லாத்தையும் விட்டுட்டு உங்ககிட்ட வந்திருக்கோம். The disciples say, we have left everything and we have come surrender at your feet, and yet you spend so much time with him and you are giving him Brahma Vidya. அப்படின்னு எல்லாருக்கும் அந்த ஒரு இது வருது, மனசஞ்சலம் வருது. So then he says, he waits for an occasion. என்ன அர்த்தம்? ஒரு தடவை there is a small incident that happens in the குருகுலம். ஏதோ ஒரு குட்டீர்ல ஏதோ ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் ஆகுது. அப்போ வந்து இல்ல அப்படியா இருந்தல, சாரி, என்ன ஆகுது, ஒரு ஒரு சதஸ்ல உட்காந்து அஷ்டாவக்ரர் is teaching Janaka, is also the other Shishyas are also sitting there. அப்போ the soldiers come rushing because there is fire in the vicinity அப்படின்னு சொல்லி அவ வந்து அனௌன்ஸ் பண்றா, சோல்ஜர்ஸ் வந்து. ஸோ ஜனகர் சொல்ற பரவாயில்ல, இட்ஸ் ஓகே, இப்ப நான் குருவோட உட்காந்துருக்கேன், இதுதான் முக்கியம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி எல்லாரும் பாக்குறேன். என்னடா அது ஃபயர்னு சொல்றாரு, இப்படி உட்காந்துருக்காரு. அதுக்கப்புறம் again a little later few more soldiers come and they say the fire has come closer. Appo then ivavoda kurukulam is a little away from the kingdom, the palace, கொஞ்சம் தூரத்துல இருக்கு. உடனே சில டிசைபிள்ஸ் எல்லாம், ஐயோ நம்ம ஆசிரமத்துக்கு பக்கத்துல வருது ஃபயர் போல இருக்கு, let us go and collect all the things that we have, இல்லைன்னா அதெல்லாம் டிஸ்ட்ராய் ஆயிடும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி சில பேர் காண போறா. அப்புறம் இவர் வந்து உட்காந்துருக்காரு, இல்லை நான் குருவோட உட்காந்துருக்கேன். ஜனகா says, no, I'm with my guru, he's teaching this, he's giving upadesha, this is important. அதுக்கப்புறம் the fire comes closer and some more disciples run away to go and collect their belongings. ஏன்னா இருக்கிறதே அவள்கிட்ட ஒரு 2 வேஷ்டியும் ஒரு உத்திரணமும் ஒரு பண்றதுக்கு டெய்லி பண்ற உபாசனைக்கு இருக்கிறதெல்லாம் இருக்கு, அதெல்லாம் போய் கலெக்ட் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லி போய் கலெக்ட் பண்றேன். இவர் காமா உட்காந்துருக்காரு. So this goes on like that for a little while, and then after that everybody takes action and the fire comes closer to the kingdom, but everybody takes action and then it's settled down. Later Ashtavakra then sitting with the disciples, he's saying, do you see how you responded to that and how he responded to it? He has much more to lose, you have very little to lose. ஆனாலும் நீங்க எப்படி பதட்டப்பட்டு ஓடி போனீங்க? The kind of urgency and the kind of desperation that you showed, I was giving you Brahma Vidya, I was telling you you are Brahman, so which means you're not believing and trusting in my words. He is a greater devotee, he is a greater student, because he truly believes in what I'm saying. If you're saying I am Brahman, all of this is Maya, why couldn't you think that it's Maya? Why can't you apply that now? Why were you not able to apply that? Of course, the right thing is to do is you have to go and respond. But the example is to show you respond what you need to respond. Why make that event as a suffering in you? Right? Something's happening, you have to attend to it with urgency, you have to attend to it with a certain promptness. But not making it an act of suffering within us, saying that urgency, ayyo ennaidamo, ayyo ennaidamo. So this is an example there. So these are examples of people who have lived this kind of life to show that it is possible. It is possible to be a Jivan Mukta and yet live amongst us. And a lot of times it is said that those who attain to Jivan Mukti can drop the body and go. There are 2 reasons they stay. One is their prarabdha has to be cleared. In a prarabdha karma irukku, adu clear aganum. The second is they continue to be there as an example for others. ஏன்னா ஜீவன் முக்தி அடைஞ்ச உடனே, மோட்சம் அடைஞ்ச உடனே எல்லாருமே பாடியை டிராப் பண்ணிட்டு போயிட்டு இருந்தான்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, நமக்கு இருக்கிறவளுக்கு தெரியவே தெரியாது what it is to be like that அப்படின்னு. So as a grace, as compassion towards the rest of humanity, some of them continue to be even after their prarabdhas. There's a very beautiful episode in Ramakrishna Paramahansa's life. Ramakrishna Paramahansa does his satsang, people come visit him, many big people in the society come visit him. They said they do bhajans, satsangs and all that. But there is a particular food that Ramakrishna always asks, gets up, satsangla irukum iruparavar, he'll get up and go and meet Sharada Ma and saying that adi iniki pandralla, ipo pandralla, enakku adu venum, enakku eppo konduruva appdi pannuvaru. He will do that in front of everybody. So he does that several times. Sharada Ma வந்து தனியா ஒரு தடவை உட்கார்றச்சே, நீங்க இப்படி why are you behaving like this? நீங்க இவ்வளவு பெரிய பிரம்மஞானி, உங்க பாதத்துல வந்து எத்தனையோ பெரிய பெரியவாள்லாம், there are people coming and sitting at your feet. For this mere that one dish, why are you behaving like this? Then he'll say, I have created a desire for that so that I continue to remain in this body. Mark my words, he says, mark my words, the day I say I don't want that, from 3 days from there, I will drop the body. So adhe mari agum. There'll be on a certain day, he will say, enakku adu vendam abinga. Uddane Sharadammakku, she'll remember those words, and then she'll start weeping. And then he'll say, don't worry, it is time for me to go. And exactly 3 days after, he drops the body. So Jivan Muktas essentially is also as a grace upon us, so that we understand, we experience their presence and we feel uplifted in their presence and we feel inspired. பிரம்மஞானி கிட்ட எப்பவுமே போய் நம்ம பாதத்துல விழுந்து அவர் கால விழுந்து எனக்கு ஒரு வேலை வாங்கி கொடுங்க சாமி, எனக்கு ஒரு எனக்கு வீட்டுல வந்து இந்த நெய்பர் பிரச்சனை பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கான், இல்ல தண்ணி ஒழுகிறது, இதெல்லாம் கேட்டுட்டு இருந்தானா இட்ஸ் வெரி சேட். The only thing is we have to aspire to be like them. அவள மாதிரி இருக்கணுங்கிறத ஆசைப்படணும். Not in நடைமுறையில் இல்லை. It is to be in that state of consciousness. So this is what they inspire us just by sitting, just by being. People like Ramana, just by being, எதுவுமே பேசாமே கூட இருந்துட்டே எத்தனையோ பேர் இன்ஸ்பயர் பண்ணிருக்காரு. சரியா? So this shloka is essentially in those lines. It says, Vishwam Pashyati, the world that you see it as Karya Karanataya. It is the cause and effect. The effect of cause, the relationship of cause and effect. You see it, everything you see it that way. Buddha, when he attained nirvana, the first thing that he did was, that's the story, he looked at a leaf. Looking at the leaf, he could instantly see the whole cosmic creation. Because that's the truth. In that one leaf, the whole cosmos is present in that leaf. Because a particular star million light years away is where it is, because of that our galaxy is where it is, because of that our solar system is where it is, because of that earth, sun is where it is, because of that earth is where it is, because of that the spin of the earth is there, because of that seasons are there, because of that rain falls, because of that a plant comes up, because of that the leaves sprout. So the leaf, you can see, it's a journey of so many things related. So many things are related or happening for that leaf to exist. So that whole cause and effect relationship one can instantly see. Who sees? A Brahmagyani. He is able to see. Vishwam, he sees this whole Vishwam. Kannukku nera paakaronne, he sees everything is a cause and effect. There's a very nice episode about Thomas Alva Edison. Thomas Alva Edison was a very devout Christian. So Thomas Alva Edison was one of the other scientists. So he was traveling in a train with another gentleman, and kaila Bible enamo vechindirundirukkaru. He's got some spiritual book. The guy on the opposite side is a businessman. Then they just gently engage in a conversation, and he says, "Who are you?" He says, "I'm a scientist." He says, "You're a scientist? You're holding a religious book. You believe in God?" He says, "Yes." Then he says, "How can you believe in God? How can you be so blind, superstitious? You're a scientist. You should think logically, rationally, all of that." He says, "Okay, doesn't matter." He tells him, "Come and visit me. Why don't you come and visit me? Let's have a chat over a conversation over a cup of coffee or something." Then this man visits his house. And then he goes and he sees a beautiful model of the universe, the solar system, or a solar system or a model table mele irukku. Then he sees that for a little bit and says, "Oh, so beautiful," and is waiting for the scientist to arrive. And then the scientist comes and he says, "Sir, this is such a beautiful model. Who created it? Who made this model?" He says, "Nobody. Last night I went to sleep. Morning I'm coming here. I see suddenly this model is here." He says, "What are you talking? What nonsense? How can it be possible? Somebody has to create it. Somebody has to make it. It's such a beautiful piece of work. Tell me who made it." He said, No, I'm really telling you. Nobody made it. Last night I went. There is nothing on the table. Today morning I came. Suddenly this thing is there. So beautiful." Then scientist says that. And then he says, "If you are not able to accept the fact that this mere model of a solar system cannot appear on its own, how can this whole universe and this creation appear on its own? How can you deny the fact that there is something that is created, there is a creator? How can you deny the fact of a creator? So this is a relationship. There is a creation, there must be a creator. There is an effect, there must be a cause. What we see is an effect. It can become a cause for something else, but what you see now is an effect, and it definitely has a cause. So the moment you see everything like that as cause, effect, you know it is a chain. It is a chain of things that are happening ad infinitum. We don't know when it started, we don't know when it will end. Right? But you know it is a process of constant change. This is what you see. The moment you see, இன்னைக்கு இருக்கு நாளைக்கு இல்ல, இன்னைக்கு இல்ல நாளைக்கு இருக்கும். Right? Something's there today, will not be there tomorrow. Something is not there today, it will be there tomorrow. And that is how it keeps moving on. So the moment you see life and world as a process of cause and effect, then you know that there's nothing to really worry about. There's nothing to really be bound by. This is liberating, right? This is liberating. Vishwam pashyati karya karanataya. We'll come to the next one, maybe next week. We're running out of time. Swaswami sambandhataha. So that is the kind of relationship that you have. The moment you see the Vishwam as cause, effect, you know that you are the effect of a certain cause that has occurred. You, as in this body mind complex that you are, it is because of the cause. The cause, many causes. Your parents are a cause. Your prarabdha, your sanchita karma is a cause that needs to go out. So your karma cycle is a cause. There are many causes why certain things have happened. So we have to understand that this is a cycle that's moving on, and that is how a Brahmagyani sees it. Yeah. So the next few lines we will continue to see. This is how the beautiful shloka about a Jivan Mukta's experience of the world that we are also living in. They are also living in, we are also living in. It's all about how they see versus we see. Idu mattana vidyasam. Bhagavad Gita le solva yaha pashyati sa pashyati. The one who sees truly sees. இப்போ இதே விஷயத்தை நான் பார்க்கிற விதம் ஒண்ணு, இன்னொருத்தர் பார்க்கிற விதம் ஒண்ணு. The Brahmagyani or a Jivan Mukta, the way he sees it different. All we need to pray for is to give me that vision. Give me that ability to see the world the way he is seeing it. That is Anandam, that is Paramanandam, that is Brahmanandam, that is happiness. Okay, so we'll pause here today. Hari Om.